Okay. Welcome back. We're back. And so for those that are watching the VOD and don't know why I'm starting the stream by saying we're back, we already did like 10 minutes of it, and then it just cut out. The big Wogerpon corporation decided to send an assassin after me, and I had to pause stream and fight him off. You know how it is. They didn't get me this time. So let's continue building Dragalge. We made some notes here, and Dragalge does a lot. It sets toxic spikes, absorbs toxic spikes, pivots, walls Wellspring, and is just generally better than you'd think. It tends to do more than you'd expect. It walls Rillaboom, which is really nice. Does pretty well against Iron Valiant, which is cool. And of course, setting toxic spikes is just generally nice, and it can burn stuff with Scald. So yeah, Dragalge is one of those Pokemon that when I used it, and I originally used this with a viewer submitted team that I fixed for a recent video, submitted by the OCCI dot. Where is that? Oh, I gotta go into OU. A lot of Natex teams lately. So yeah, the OCCI dot submitted this balance team, and I was really impressed by Dragalge's performance, so I thought I would try it on my own. Now, one of the challenges with building Dragalge and Alomomola is the fact that we're starting off a team, a balanced team, already kind of rough there, but we're starting off a balanced team with 2 defensive Pokemon, which is never really how you want to get going. The easiest Pokemon to build around are offensive because you can immediately get into a Breaking Core. And the first thing you want to do with any team is develop a Breaking Core. But in this case, we're building around Dragalge, which is, of course, not breaking at all. And Alomomola is the best partner by far for Dragalge. Alomomola really appreciates the help Ogerpon. The help Dragalge gives it with Ogerpon, and Wish Passing works very well because the things all is weak to, grass and electric, Dragalge can come in on just fine and get healed up. Also, it appreciates the T-Spike absorption. Generally, these two just do really well together. They work really well together. So I wanted to try that, and but the first thing we need to do, we start with this defensive core. We got to think, what offensive Pokemon can it support? Even when you start the team with defensive Pokemon, you want to think offensively as quickly as possible. And someone asking me, do I not think this fits better on Stall rather than another type of team? No. Well, first of all, do I think Dragalge Stall is viable? Maybe. Could be. Probably is. I mean, it's not that hard to fit a weird Pokemon into a Stall team. So yeah, no, for sure. I think that could be viable. I just don't want to build Stall. I find it really boring and unpleasant to play, and I can't really maneuver as I'd like to. There's a lot of matchup in the extremes, hyper offense, but Stall in particular, so much of the game depends on just what you get matched up against. Does your opponent have a way to break your team, or do they not? And playing does come into it sometimes, but I much prefer pretty much every other archetype. So I want to go with Dragalge. And take it in a more balanced direction. The other reason, though, that I think it might be best on a balance or more offensive team is because of flip turn. Stall doesn't really appreciate pivoting. Now, it doesn't mind it. Of course, pivoting is good in singles in general. It's really good. So sure, Stall teams like it, but pivoting is much more appreciated by those balanced teams. The other thing I like about this core is the double Scald. Alo doesn't run Scald typically nowadays because it's running something to help with Woger, right? It's running Tickle, it's running Body Slam. So this approach to Dragalge I found pretty cool, pretty interesting. And yeah, I just thought it was thought it was pretty nice, and it worked well. So what I was thinking at first as a potential breaker is Choice Band Hoopa. Reason for that is pretty simple. Hoopa hates U-turn. So every time Hoopa gets a kill with whatever, knockoff Hyperspace Fury, it's got to contend with a ton of Pokemon with U-turn coming in and just clowning on it. With, you know, whether that's Dragapult, Cinderace, you know, Scizor, Ogerpon, Wellspring, everything in the tier with U-turn can kill Hoopa really easily because of that 4x weakness. So having a Pokemon that can punish that, like Poison Point Dragalge, is really nice. And yes, we are going Poison Point on this. It is much, much better than Adaptability. All Adaptability would do is just a tiny little boost to Sludge Bomb that is barely going to matter. And when in Poison Point, on the other hand, every time something clicks a contact move, it's got to fear that Dragalge. So really easy set there. We definitely want Poison Point on this. And yeah, Scald is great on Dragalge too, allows it to hit incoming stuff like Tinglu, Treads, Kingambit, and just threaten the burn, which is really, really nice. Something else I actually am just kind of realizing now about Dragalge is how slow this Pokemon is. And I think I kind of like the idea of underspeeding Allo by just a little bit. Let's try to underspeed level 99 Allo. So level 99 Allo is 119, so we can hit 118. That'll get us to the point where we still outspeed stuff like Hatterene, but we're, you know, we still outspeed stuff like Hatterene, but we're getting the slow flip turn on Allo, which is kind of cool. I think that's a good adjustment to the set I didn't think about before. All right. So yeah, Hoopa likes having contact punishers, which Dragalge does, and Hoopa also likes having wish support, which Allo provides. So in a way, it kind of seems like the perfect Pokemon here. However, my concern is just defensive utility. My concern is that we can't support this. Hoopa is just so useless defensively, unless it's Assault Vest. But with a Choice Band, basically you can't count on it to do a single thing defensively, other than being a Psychic Immunity, which, you know, it's not entirely useless, but it's not super helpful. It's not going to do a ton for you. And somebody asking, Dragon Lord in chat, offensive Dragalge doesn't work in this tier. Trust me, I've tried many times. Yeah. I mean, I think you could definitely cheese some wins with a Specs, Draco Meteor, like Adaptability, Dragalge. You absolutely could, but it just wouldn't be that good, right? We want to make a good team, and I would say the best Dragalge set is without a doubt defensive. Not even a shadow of a doubt in my mind, it's the best set. But yeah, Hoopa has so little defensive utility, you want the rest of the team to do a lot defensively. Dragalge's kind of a little bit niche already in that category. So another thing I was considering was Ogerpon. Our own Ogerpon Wellspring. This, I think, would be nice for the simple reason that, you know, you could Terra Water early and not be afraid of opposing Wellspring, at least not as afraid as you otherwise normally would be. And yeah, it's just a really broken breaker that does a lot on the defensive side. This also starts our team off really good against water, which maybe probably a little bit overkill, but that's an idea as well. So yeah, that's going to be the trickiest part of this, is deciding how we want this to go. Another idea I had was running this with an LO SD Blaziken. We actually tried this kind of Rillaboom core, you know, on another team recently. I can search it here. Blaziken. So yeah, I was recently searching. Here we go. Yeah, so this was a team I tried pretty recently, and I was thinking we could maybe get some removal on this team with something like Treads over Tinglu, and then, you know, something like Dragalge over Weezing, which, you know, it's not exactly a perfect substitute, but I felt like something kind of like this had potential. We might need to replace Weezing with, you know, an actual dark type, or maybe that's the thing that goes. Maybe it would be like a Tinglu here. But anyway, I figured Dragalge on kind of a fat team might work pretty well. with Blaziken as an idea. But yeah, someone else noted that this is a lot of freeze dry weak Pokemon. I guess another good thing about Hoopa is that it could get past substitute Kyurem, which I kind of like. If you have any other ideas in chat also about what kind of breaker that would be supported, because the good news is we've got pivots. Like we start the team off with 2 pivots. Someone said, oh, Vivek, well done. Congratulations on doing well with your own team. That's awesome. Yeah. So I see some ideas for Hex Dragapults, potentially even Specs Hex, which is not bad. Like, I'm down for that, especially with how much status spreading we have. I think Specs Hex Pulse could be super cool here, and I'll add that to the list. Team members, Specs, Hex, Dragapult. Huge back in Gen 8. You don't see it much anymore, but I think it's definitely still viable. So yeah, a lot of people saying Hexpult. Problem is, Hexpult is not really a breaker, or not really. It's not going to break stall. We need something with immediate power, and obviously Hexpult will not provide that. And then we also just want something that can break stall, which Hexpult doesn't really do either. At least Specs. Some Dragapult, I will say, like leftovers, Sub, Wisp, Darts, Hex. This is pretty much really, really tough for stall teams to deal with. This is really tough for stall teams to deal with. Unless they have a Garg, at which point it's extremely easy to deal with and not a problem at all. But I digress. I don't really. I think we need something just that can hit hard, right off rip, and just get clocking. As much as I have doubts about whether Hoopa is supportable, I think we should try that angle and see how it goes. So let's bring our Hoopa up here. Kyurem can break stall, not really. Like, theoretically, yes, but not really. I mean, like, what set is it going to be? Specs is just getting walled by Blissey and hates hazards. Loaded Dice is getting Dondozoed. Like, you can do the mix of, like, the Loaded Dice and the Freeze Dry, which can work, but then, like, a Pex just Terra Fairies and poisons you. It's also just not that reliable. I want something that can come in and take advantage of this pivoting multiple times, not something that can DD once and kind of make it go for the win. Do I think Shaman Sky should be suspect tested? Abso-freaking-lutely not. Super fast Pokemon with Seed Flare and Serene Grace and Air Slash. It would be absolutely terrible. You'd have to run Covert Cloak Goldengo on pretty much every team. And even that, I think, would just get Terra Ground Earth powered. So, no. Absolute nightmare of a Pokemon. Never, ever, ever let Shaman Sky back into the tier. That's a horrible idea. All right. Not enough water resistances out of Volcanion. Yep, that's... You got a good point. That's what we need. So, all right, let's think about this. How do we support this? We need really solid removal here. So it's either going to be a Treads or a Tusk, basically, because we can't fit on a Weezing. Too much defensive overlap with Dragalge. We're not going to end up having a supportable team. The DD pressure stall. Oh yeah, the DD pressure stall with Lefty's Tech is pretty good against... well, no. No, I don't think that set actually... Well, you can PP stall Haze Pex. So... I don't know, I'm pretty sure Dondozo and Toxapex wall that eventually. Anyway, though. Yeah, with Hoopa, would you run webs or just give up on outspeeding? Like, no, abso-freaking-lutely not. We wouldn't put webs on this team. You don't want to just put webs on everything where there's a slow breaker. It's a conversation we seem to have every stream, but I'll say it again. Just because a Pokemon appreciates webs does not mean it should have webs. Everything appreciates the opponents being slower. But no, Hoopa is not going to be tremendously helped by that. It's going to just switch out. It's not here to be a speed demon and outpace everything. It's here to break. And that's what I expect it will do. So, Tusk and Treads are our two options here. That's pretty much it. Those are the two choices. Tusk gives us a help against Kingambit, and Treads gives us help against Fairy types. Somebody recommended Cinderace. I'm absolutely not opposed to double removal here. I could see that being good. So yeah, we might do that. But yeah, someone made a note about Bolt, which I agree with. I think Bolt is a huge problem that we're probably not going to super easily be able to solve. So I'm liking the Treads version a little bit better. So let's develop that further. Let's develop that further. Hoopa needs webs and screens. Guys, no, it doesn't. What are you talking about? It's ridiculous. Do I think Solgaleo should be tested? Yes. Not now, though. I want more bans to happen first. We don't need to be testing stuff until we've taken out the trash. This guy. Look, Woger makes it come up. That's kind of funny. Yeah, so okay. Dragalge with adaptability specs needs to be tried. It has been, not by me, but by others, and by me in previous generations. It's just not good. Like, it's strong, but not that strong. Like, with this special attack of 97, it's basically like a Specs Raging Bolt, but way worse, and really slow, and easier to switch in on. But yeah, I do like Treads here. Not sure yet what set we want to run on this guy, but I think that's okay. We don't necessarily need to know. Part of me wants to run a good knockoff Absorber. Yeah, I know we need a Dark Resist. Ora. That's, I mean, yeah. No, Gen 9 OU teams do not necessarily need a Flying or Levitate Pokemon, but they normally do want it. On this team, given how we're looking against Headlong Rush so far, I'm thinking we probably want a Ground Immunity. But yeah, we need a few things here. We ideally need a Ghost Resist. We need a Dark Resist. I do see why Weavile found its way onto this team originally. It makes a lot of sense. Dragalge, giving it Dragon Energy would do like nothing. It wouldn't. It's so slow, it's always going to take damage before it gets to click Dragon Energy. Like some cheesers would use it on Trick Room, but it wouldn't be good. Yeah, ground weakness. So let's talk about what we need. We need Kingambit answer. Solid Kingambit answer. Dark Resist, Ghost Resist, Speed. We need Priority. Seems like Zamazenta's in our future. Zama plus a Priomon looks likely. Ground Immunity as well. Air Balloon Tusk. Yep, that's what we need. That's a super solid Tusk switch in. They'll never see that one coming. I'd say Curem answer. Curem's looking pretty rough too. Yeah, Priority will help with the Saraledge situation. Speed will help with the Darkrai. Yeah, Willow plot Lefty's Darkrai is rough here, but that's not that common. Not to the point I think I want to specifically like freak out about it. Wisp Immunity though, I think would be good if possible. I would like that. Yeah, someone noted that Kingambit looks like what I'm looking for, but Kingambit these days it's not been performing often as well as I'd like. Wouldn't Scarf Hydreigon do most of these? So you'd think, right? But not really. Is Scarf Hydreigon ground immunity? Yes. Do you ever really want to switch it into a Tusk? I guess kind of. But no, like it's a ghost resist that can't deal with any ghost types well. It's a dark resist that can't really deal with many dark types well, and it doesn't answer King Gambit. So Hydreigon in kind of like a fairy tale land where you kind of close your eyes and cover your ears and pretend everything's okay theoretically works, but in practice, no. Just resisting Sucker Punch is not nearly enough to stop the evil that is King Gambit. Also, guys, do remember to like the stream. Hopefully this is the actual stream this time and we won't have to redo it. But yeah, like it. Let's get it going. What about Tauros Blaze? I don't think it'll fit here because we need something fast and we need priority, but I don't hate the idea. Yeah, Wisp Dragapult is really rough here. Primarina's kind of nasty as well. Not the end of the world, but it's not great. Yeah, we definitely want the rest of the team to be taken in a pretty offensive direction. Because right now, I think this team's looking really good against Fat. We've got Wish Passing, we've got T-Spike Absorption, Hazard Situation, and we've got a Banded Hoopa. That's pretty darn good against just about any Fat team you're going to see. So the problem is... The problem is the hyper offense matchup. So whatever we add next, the hyper offense and more offensive teams, whatever we add next needs to be really good against those teams, which is why I'm gravitating towards Zama. My concern is if we add Zama, then what do we do? That seems like a lot harder of a question. Bognor, the problem with Cinderace is it's just not fast enough to be actual speed control because you're not outspeeding Zama, you're not outspeeding Pult, you're not even outspeeding, you're not outspeeding a ton. I mean, we can OU and we can sort for speed. We see Cinderace here getting outsped by all these guys. Particularly Darkrai is like the lowest threshold for speed control. Like you need to outpace Darkrai if that's your speedy Pokemon. Unless you have a really solid Darkrai answer. If you've got an AV, Alolan Muck, maybe Cinderace is enough. Bognor, but no, Sucker Ace doesn't, once again, in Fairy Tale Land, it theoretically fixes problems, because you're like, oh, it's a Wisp immunity, and it can like, I guess Will-O-Wisp can Gambit if we're running Wisp Sucker, which is a pretty unhinged set, but say we did, and it's like a Ghost Resist when it clicks Sucker Punch, but it's not in reality doing a lot here, and it's not fast enough to be considered speed. Low Kicks is an idea. It does give us priority. It does give us a Dark Resist. I could see Low Kicks being worth considering here. It's interesting. What are some fire types we could potentially add? Yeah. I mean, maybe some of these. Let's say we added on a Zama. What would be the next step? Let's comb this list down. We still need priority. And we still need, so that takes care of the speed, takes care of the Dark Resist, and we'll pretend that takes care of King Gambit, although the priority kind of user sort of depends as well. I'll actually put King Gambit back because of how threatening it is. You mentioned not hating Tauros Blaze, but the problem with speed. What about Blaziken Speed Boost? The problem with Blaziken Speed Boost, or the Blaziken, is, check this out. King Gambit. See how much that Sucker Punch is doing? When you put on +2 and a couple allies fainted, all of a sudden your Blaziken is not an answer at all. You need to be at like full health, which is something Blaziken, what with Flare Blitzing and all, is famously bad at doing, staying at full health. So yeah, King Gambit's going to destroy Blaziken, and it's a fake Dark Resist. Like, you can't be like, oh, there's a Darkrai in the field, let me swap to my Blaziken. That'll work once, and once only. Okay, so QRM answer, ground immunity. Yeah, this is tough. Yeah, I think Hoopa, it's probably too hard to support alongside Hoopa. I'd agree. Bognor, thank you for the £2. Maybe add something with Guts, Facade, IDK. Yeah, no. Ursaluna's not the move here. I appreciate the idea, but it's not the move here. We could potentially go Luna over Hoopa, but I think Hoopa's going to work a little bit better here. Nez KO25 asking, when I say a team needs a resistance to every single type, do you mean a real resistance or is a fake resistance of some types okay? Fake resistance is sometimes okay. Almost every rule of building can be bent depending on the archetype and what threats of that type are actually in the metagame and such. Yeah, the problem is none of these Pokemon have priority other than Dragonite, which was on the original Dragalge team, which makes sense. Why can't Ursa be the breaker over Hoopa? It can. I just think this team supports Hoopa better, and I generally find Hoopa to be a more impressive breaker. Ursaluna is just not... I don't like that it's constantly dying. It relies so heavily on wish support, and it feels like something you want to have on like a really fat team or an offensive team, but not something in the middle. We might have to give up on the Ghost Resist Dream and just kind of slap like Terra Normal on a thing or two. Yeah, maybe so. Problem is we need priority. That's really the issue here. We need priority in a flying type. So it looks like this team is unfinishable, and I think it's the fault of Hoopa-U. This is kind of what I said when I was like worried about adding Hoopa-U, a Pokemon with such little defensive utility, is that this would end up giving us problems. This kind of exact thing you're witnessing happen right now. Yeah, it just seems too difficult to support. Like, just maybe, is there a way if we don't go with Zama? But I don't think so. I really don't think so. I don't think that gets us anywhere. Why can't we run AV Hoopa? Because AV Hoopa is not really, it's not that strong. It's not the immediate power. We need something that can pack a punch instantly. That's why on the other team, when I built this for the OCCI dot, I had Banded Weavile. It's super important on a team to have just at least one thing that can pack a punch. It's so important. Now, what I wonder here is maybe if we kept Weavile and kind of combined these Pokemon almost, like combined Tusk into Treads, if maybe this is a potential angle, because Weavile does do a lot for this team. But we need to kind of fit a breaker into this last slot. Or at least something that's going to really help our stall matchups. This could maybe be an angle. Yeah, Allo can be like a fake ground answer, but just given how weak this team is to ground, it's not really acceptable. There are some teams, if we had like a Wellspring, like, a resist here and there, and no actual ground like weaknesses that were that bad, sure, Allo can kind of be a fake ground resist, but not as the team currently is. How do you build around something that's not a breaker? Well, you've got to immediately ask yourself what breaker those defensive Pokemon can support. And it definitely is harder, but it's doable. Something I also wanted to add to this team, I don't think it's feasible, but I wanted to do it, was Garganacl. Just because I loved its status absorption. It seemed like it would fit so well. But I just don't, it doesn't look like that's going to be supportable. Yeah. I don't think there's a way. Let's take a look at it and see if there is a way. Let's say we went with a Garg. What would the breaker need to be? I don't think Dragalge has the longevity, even with wish support, to be on a super fat team that isn't hard stall. I think like the Luna fat is not really an archetype that's very good right now. We're just going to get smashed by Curem and Wogerpon. And yeah, like even with Dragalge. Dragalge is not like an Ogrepon is dead. Like you still, that team, by the OCCI dot, still had Dragonite for a reason. Just Dragalge does not get you past Ogrepon. It helps a lot, but it doesn't get you past it. But yeah, Garg helped against a lot of the irritating Pokemon we were struggling with. But I just don't think it's actually supportable. Here's an idea. If we kind of take this again, and it had a crown, what was I thinking? So we kind of go with like Scizor, potentially, and then bring back the Great Tusk as the Dark Resist. The problem is, no, this is still losing to fat teams. Yeah, like I guess you could have like a Latios here that could maybe work. True Scotsman, thank you for the $2 saying Dragalge, Woger, Garg, Alo, Treads, D-Knight. Let's plug it in and see how it looks. Garg, Ogerpon, Wellspring. Yeah, the problem is speed. As you'll probably notice, this team does not have any fast Pokemon, and that is an issue. Yeah. Can Gambit be considered a breaker? Absolutely not. You can maybe throw glasses on it, and it can, like on some hyper offense teams, it can get you a win against stall, but no, Kingambit's not a breaker. There are so many answers to it just floating around everywhere. If you're counting on a Kingambit to be a breaker and not like just a late game sweeper, your team's going to suck, guaranteed. But yeah, we may have to make some sacrifices here and make some not ideal situations where we don't have everything. Yeah. Ora, please spare me your platitudes. I'm fully aware, far more than you, of what sacrifices can and cannot be made in team building. And I'll try to do the best I can. Yeah. There's got to be some way to break fat. I think maybe it has to be Ogre. Let's try this. Let's say we put on an Ogrepon here. Then I think we can ignore the ground weakness potentially. Maybe. But then Treads isn't all that great at keeping hazards up, but I guess Wheezing is a pretty common stall staple these days. So let's see what this struggles with. We can get rid of the ground condition. We still need a Curomancer. We still need a Ghost Resist. We still have a Kingambit problem. We still have a huge Will-O-Wisp problem. A huge, even probably an even bigger Will-O-Wisp problem than before. Whoops. Look, maybe, but I don't think Sarah Ledge is the answer here. Could be like a Harkonine kind of situation. Could be. Yeah, Rillaboom. Actually, Rillaboom's a pretty good idea. I think that fits well. Gives us another Ogre answer too. I like the idea of going down the Rillaboom route. Actually, if we did this, did Rillaboom, added the Garg there, that gives us priority, and then we could replace this with something actually fast like a Zamazenta. Does that get us there? Clockwork, thank you for the somethings. I learn about all kinds of, well, I don't learn. I learn about the existence of all kinds of currencies I didn't know. Thank you. So they say Dragalge, Alomomola, CM&M, Knock, Darkrai. My concern with that is Knock Darkrai is good on Hazard Stack. This isn't going to be a Hazard Stack. And CM&M is not really what we want here. It kind of provides a Pokemon that doesn't consistently break, is not fast, you know, it doesn't give us a lot of what we need. Bognor, I don't see every message in chat. I do my best. But yeah. Let's see. Let's see if this works. Have I forgotten anything? Do we get rolled by some kind of Pokemon? Treads, no EQ. I'm actually going to run... No, I'm actually going to run... what am I trying to say? No, I like Dragalge here. It absorbs T-Spikes, which is good. I'm going to run EQ on Treads. I can't do the high horsepower thing. We're going to miss every single time. Is Treads going to be consistent enough removal? We'll have lots of boots, but it is a concern. We don't have a knock absorber, which I don't love here. That is a worry. Maybe Mandibuzz Defog instead of Treads. No, so that's going to get us farmed by any electric type. Any Volt Switch Pokemon will be good game. And Mandibuzz is absolutely god-awful at removal because it just gets totally sat on by Goldengo. Yep, I think this is worth testing. Let's give it a go. Let's grab our core here. Sub these guys out. And then Garganackle. Let's go, yeah, let's just go with the leftovers rock set. I think this is the best set. Salt, Cure, Protect, Recover. And we'll go with Terra Fairy on this for the Curem matchup. Although it doesn't really help against sub Curem, which is super irritating and everywhere for some reason lately. Yes, sub Kyurem is like one of the banes of my existence. I hate it so much. A Dragonite does not get defog anymore. But yeah, the Kyurem situation worries me here. Here's what we could do. We could go Assault Vest Treads, Terra Ice. Whoops. Terra Ice seems not bad here. Rapid Spin, Knock Off, EQ Ice Spinner. We'll go enough to outpace. Sure, we'll hit that. Some HP in there. Actually, how fast is Kyurem? Kyurem's like 1. We probably want this to be kind of fast. Our team's really slow. We'll try that, see how that goes over. U-turn, knock off. I guess we have T-Spikes to pressure those Kyurem as well, but I'm definitely still worried about that matchup. We'll see how it goes. Zama, probably just HDB. Seems solid here. Crunch, Stone Edge, CC, Ice, Bang. Looking at the Gliscor matchup, yeah, let's go Ice Fang. And we'll go Dark on this. Seems actually, yeah, we'll go Dark. Sure, we'll go with that. I don't know exactly how much to cram into these days, but that seems good. Actually, we're really not too worried about other Zamazenta, so let's go right to like Darkrai. Darkrai is like 383, right? That'll give us a good amount of HP. Yeah, let's run this and see how it goes. It's a not Salt Cure. Oh, yep, I forgot the EVs on Garg. Thank you. I think it would have warned me, but I think they run 56 for some reason. I'll just trust there's a good reason for that. I got the Dragalge set right. Got the Ala looking good. Garg, yep. Rilla, okay. Treads, yep. Okay, looks good. Maybe just double check the Overgrow. Yep, good thing we did an ability check. Poison Point, Regen, Sturdy, Surge. Okay, yeah, let's run it and see what happens. I feel like this team's going to be fine, but I feel like there's got to be something we can do better. Maybe the Weavile, the more I build, the more I feel like, man, that Weavile kind of did a lot for the team I wasn't really respecting. So maybe we need to bring the Weavile back and just somehow try to make that work. Oh, it's Sturdy. Okay, yeah. I still missed some. How did I go past that? Did an ability check and didn't even actually check the abilities. But it's okay. We got most of them. At least I didn't queue up with Overgrow Rillaboom. Could have been worse. And, you know, the Sturdy might be clutch. I'm just saying. So, okay, we face a Kyurem right off the bat. Probably good in a way, I guess. I think I want to just lead with Treads. I'm clicking EQ on this. Okay, Wellspring comes in. Let's go Dragalge. Knock. We do not get the poison, sadly. I'm going to Scald here because I think you always U-turn. They do not know about Poison Point, clearly, and we are just getting farmed for it. But okay, that's good. That Scald did not do a lot. I wonder if this is a slow Glamora. Yeah, that Scald indicates that this is a slow Glamora, so we can click a big fat Woodhammer here. Beautiful. That's a great kill. That's a great kill, but now we've got to deal with this. So, not going so well anymore. Let's go Treads. Oh, it's DD. That's not good. What do we do about that? I think let's go hard Zama. It seems fine, and let's close combat. Okay, fire type. All right. That's not great. Icicle Spear here will kill us. But I don't think Alo dies to a scale shot. Yeah, so we're going to sack Dragalge here to get rid of the T-Spike. And yeah, it's, well, all it took is one. Now we can go Alo Flip, turn into Rillaboom. I believe that does it. Yeah, that does it. Scale Shot here, if it gets 5 hits, that actually probably kills us, but at least its defense will be lowered, and then I think Rillaboom with Terra Grass will kill. So this is still the play. But okay, it does, of course, get the 5 hits, because why wouldn't it, right? And yeah, we can now Terra Grass. That's crazy damage difference. Something feels weird about this. But okay, let's Terra Grass and kill this thing, I guess. Terra Grass does look really solid here. I'm feeling pretty good about our chances of winning this. Honestly, I just want to Glide again. It's doing so much. And I'll go Zama here. Okay, Ogerpon's going to come in. I think we can just CC this. Yeah, let's CC. Let's go for the kill. Okay, we do not get the kill. We get a pretty terrible roll there. Let's CC again. We do still live Kingambit Sucker, but not with flying colors. Inam comes in, easiest Garganackle of my life. That's fine. I think, do we rock up or do we just... Let's just click Salt Cure, I think is the play. And I'll Tect here. If they switch, they switch. Okay, I didn't see that coming, but that's fine. We Salt Cure for sure. Yep, Tusk is going to be getting greedy. We can recover. And what's the sack here? I think it is Garg. Yeah, it's looking like we're about to probably win this with Rilla. Rilla absolutely can kill here. I don't care that you're max HP. You're not taking that. I guess we have to go Treads here. Okay, we actually do kill with Earthquake, which is cool. Oh, forgot about that one. Yeah. All right, I think we lose now. Yeah, GG. I don't know how I forgot about Terra Blast Fire. Of course it would be Terra Blast Fire. Yeah, wow. Yeah, I guess I was right to be concerned about the Kyurem matchup. Although if I'd known it was DD, we would have just gone hard Garg and it would have been fine. But that's kind of the nature of Kyurem, right? You don't know. It could click Substitute and just destroy your entire team, or it could click DD and destroy your entire team, and you'll never know which. And yeah, you might get totally farmed. So, but yeah, that was rough for sure. Yeah, we did get 5 hit, which was unfortunate, but like, you know, it is what it is. No, high horsepower does not hit. I miss high horsepower like a good 20% of the time I use that move. I will not use it. I absolutely can and will use Earthquake on grassy terrain. High horsepower is the illusion of having a move. It will never hit. It is just a move that misses. Okay, let's think about this. Yeah, I think it's just the Weavile helped with so much BS. Maybe we need it back. Let's look at this kind of version again, where we bring back the D-Knight and we have the Weavile, but we get rid of the Treads and the Iron Crown and we replace it for a Dark Resist. Maybe something like a Life Orb Iron Valiant here. I mean, we already do have a Dark Resistant Weavile technically, but yeah, let's think about this. Or, no, an AM is not the answer we need here. It has very little defensive utility, super frail, does nothing against fat teams. It is in so many ways not what we need. What's even a good Kyurem check? Great question. Nothing. That's why I hate it. And I think it's horrible for the tier and should be banned. And I think that the voters are absolute fools. And generally, the voting base of the SVOU community are just remarkably just logic, unbound by the constraints of logic and thinking. Yeah, this is tough. I'm not exactly sure what to do here. We could try just like the previous team with Specs Crown, but that still had so many issues with what am I trying to say, with stall, and it still had issues with Dragapult. Yeah, Scizor is kind of the best Kyurem but then you face a sub Kyurem and it's like totally useless and just loses. So there really is no Kyurem. It depends solely on the set, and if you guess wrong, you probably lose unless you're a really offensive team, which is partly why balance is in a super tough spot, is because of Kyurem just making things impossible. Smoke Sniper, that team has no fast Pokemon. And no ground immunity. The problem is a ton of people are just like, oh, I only play bulky offense teams with all my Pokemon are attackers. I never try to wall anything, so I don't see why Kyurem's a problem. It's like, yeah, no wonder. You've literally never played a team with a defensive core. Of course you don't find Kyurem to be problematic. You wouldn't. Those aren't the kind of teams Kyurem destroys. So it's pretty frustrating. A lot of people just don't seem to understand there are other archetypes out there beyond what they play, and that just killing the viability of those archetypes is not good for the tier. No, Dragalge worked well. I think it's good. It just needs a little bit more. But yeah, it needs to be... The Banded Weavile here worked pretty well. It just, this team just got so destroyed by Dragapult. Specs low kicks. Wow, we got some ideas in chat. Like, maybe... You could theoretically replace this crown. No, then we end up too weak to ground. Could we use Rotom Wash? No. I mean, we could, but I don't really see what that gets us. AV Gambit is not good in OU. In Nat Dex, it can work. In OU, AV Gambit is a really terrible set. You're restricting yourself from using Swords Dance, the #1 thing that makes Kingambit scary. Well, I guess Sucker Punch. AV Psychic Noise Reuniclus for Subcurum. That is an idea. I guess the crown here is kind of the Curamancer, which that is good for that. Weavile, I think we need a Weavile, because Weavile kind of gives us speed. And it kind of although Darkrai was a threat for this team, which is something worth considering, but There's definitely a way to do this. I'm just not seeing it. This set is the best for breaking stall, but it's not good enough. It can encourage things to Terra. True Scotsman, thank you for the $5. But if we ban Woger and Kyurem, Zap King Lu will take over the tier again. Small gun users. Yeah, absolutely ridiculous. There are so many ways to break fat teams. The idea that it would just turn into fat balance is like this fear-mongering absurdity. It's just beyond foolish. And I do see that sentiment everywhere. It's pretty crazy. So let's see, what can we do? Like, I don't want to just ignore the stall matchup, but it's seeming like that might be the only way to get a half-decent team out of this is just saying, you know, whatever. To hell with it. See stall, good game, win against other teams. But I really don't want that to be the angle we go. I really don't. Yeah, this is so tough. Dragalge, there's absolutely a way to make it good. Because it did perform so well. I just wish Weavile wasn't so, like, garbage and breaking stall. Maybe if we go like Treads Garg, it doesn't really, but then that we still are losing the stall. We're still getting cooked. Calm Mind on Crown. What is that doing? No, that's not it. Steel. Yeah. Yeah, no, this is tough. It's just that it seems like there's... Okay, we're still going with the music. It seems so hard to support Dragalge because it's not bad in practice. It does a lot in practice, but in the builder, it just can't be counted on to do hardly anything. Maybe we just run it again. Maybe we just do that. Let's give it another... Okay, fine. We'll run high horsepower. We'll try high horsepower and run it again. Because I feel like the Curem loss was kind of like BS. I feel like we could deal with that under normal circumstances. All right, let's take a look. I do like the look. 1943, so we're facing a good opponent here. I still am not thrilled about this team, but let's just give it a couple tries and see if that was just a fluke or if the team's just not good in general. I kind of want to lead with Rillaboom because I'm expecting... Okay, didn't see that coming, but that's fine. I'm just going to go hard Garg on this. That seems pretty easy. We're going to get Dracoed, and it's going to miss, which is cool. Okay. So that's not good. Let's Salt Cure. And AV Treads, how well does that take? Hits. Not well. Let's do it anyway, because we have no other solution. Okay, we do live here, though, so I can go for a big fat knockoff. All right, they didn't see the AV coming. We're probably going to kill this thing here. Yep, Salt Cure will take it out. That went pretty well. I'm happy with that. I kind of want to set T-Spikes. Well, it's not going to do anything, though, is it? Tinglu's probably boots. We do want to keep Treads alive, for sure. This is kind of the only thing Dragalge's good for, so let's go in and do this. Sludge Bomb here, try to get a poison off. That did a lot. That's Adamant, and that was a high roll on Adamant. Okay, we're going to get knocked. Dragalge, shout out to Dragalge here. It's been hitting contact moves, I think, now 4 times and has not gotten a poison ever, which is great. So we're going to Tect here. And let's Wish. And we'll Tect here. Treads will be able to enter with full hazards up, which is huge. Let's just throw off. Let's get a Scald Burn. Beautiful. Easy. And we still have boots on this guy, so that's not a concern. We can flip turn here. All right, they're going to do that to us, so we want to go into the boots Pokemon, and let's see what gets dragged out. Treads, that worked out pretty well. Let's knock off. Okay, we're going to get tricked. That's pretty okay. Let's go Mola here. You never just sack gold. You either Terra or you get out of here. You always preserve the ghost in this situation. Yep, as I thought. Let's Wish. No, we're not making it adaptability. Why do you guys want to see a terrible Dragalge set so badly? Treads, oh, look at this. This is beautiful. I'm going to knock off here. I think the gold's coming out. Okay, we got. Happens. We can go back into Mola. Yeah, Dragalge did nothing this game. I agree. It's not really for this matchup. Okay, we get rolled out of it right away. Let's go Treads here. I don't think you ever just let this Tinglu die. But if you do... Yeah, okay, you do, and my Treads is gone. That's not good. We can go Mola here. But yeah, that's not a good turn for us, obviously. We can... No, we're going to have to... We can sack Dragalge here. Okay, Calm Mind, that's not good. Yeah, I think it looks like we're getting Hazard stacked on. Let's Terra Grass Woodhammer. They should just sack gold. No real reason to keep gold around at this point. Okay, Lou is a fair sack as well. Let's go Mola, and we're going to just instantly try to Skull Burn this thing is, I think, our best approach. Okay, that's fine. We can just Wish flip turn here and get in the Rilla. How's adaptability terrible on Dragalge? Because we have one... It's a defensive Pokemon with one stab move. That's why. It's really bad. Trust me, guys. It would not go well. Gold. Okay, we scald it. We don't get the burn, though. Unfortunate, but not the end of the world. Let's just flip turn out here. Can Rilla kill this thing with a glide? Probably. Let's do that. Okay, good. Yeah, I figured the gold wouldn't want to switch out there because knockoff was a little bit obvious. I thought they'd be expecting me to think I outsped, and yeah. Let's wish, and we'll flip turn. We still likely kill. So, oh, never mind. Not if it's... Bro, what is a Terra Flying Clefable actually doing in this year, in this day and age? Like, what are we actually doing? Let's go, I guess Zamazenta, and hope it's a super whack set for some reason they can't live this. I don't know. That's where we're at. Flying's pretty wild, though. You don't see that every day. Okay, we lose. Yeah, we're not doing enough. GG. Okay, yeah, this team's not impressing me. What killed the Dragalge? A-Trot. I switched it in trying to get Poison Point, didn't get it. We poisoned with Sludge Bomb, though, so it worked out. Yeah, the Hazard stack did not go well there. I think these are both just worse teams than the original submission, which is the problem. I don't think there's any way to fix this. Yeah, someone recommended Latios over D-Knight. I could see that working. I could see that working. I'm not going to try Metronome Curem. Just Dragalge offensive, bro. No. I'm not going to go the Hazard stack route either. It's a Dragalge. It doesn't do anything for Hazard stack. It hates being knocked off. Getting knocked off is part of what it does. It doesn't take advantage of Hazards well. Dragalge, I have no reason to believe Dragalge should work well in a Hazard stack. Yeah. We are absolutely not going with an offensive Dragalge. I guarantee it sucks. That is the last thing I will say about it. I will count on chat to explain to any new joiners why we are not going to run a Specs Dragalge. Yeah. Garg, yeah, probably Garg's too passive, but we need something to absorb status. I think maybe the answer could be a Goldengo. But then that Curem still ends up being rather problematic. Maybe the problem here is the Dragonite. If we could get something different than that, that could help. But we kind of do need this for Ogre, which is part of the problem. Maybe just Rilla over Dragonite would be good. I mean, that does a lot of the same things, and it actually helps a lot against stall. We can give this a try. I don't think Dragonite was doing anything crucial defensively. This leaves us still in a really rough spot with Wisp Pult, which is the problem, but I guess we can go just like Terra Fires on stuff. It's not great, but it may be manageable. Combine, why does people say Combine Crown? You don't want to put a setup sweeper in the middle of a balance team. It's going to be terrible. No, Combine Crown is not the solution. I'm absolutely certain about that. Let's get the music back on. Okay. Looks like Weavile's pretty good here. T-Spikes look great, so I want to start with Dragalge. Okay, let's just set up T-Spikes. Vaporeon comes in. I'm totally okay to Sludge Bomb this. Not really sure why it came in. Okay, we immediately poisoned. That's good. I don't love getting scalded by this, but I think the only real way we have to deal with this is hard Rilla. Okay, we don't get Scald Burned. That's great. I'm going to click Knockoff here. Okay, that's a little bit irritating. I think we do still stay in and click Knockoff. Okay, good, and we don't get Scald Burned again, and we kill now, so that went pretty well. Chomp going to come in and get poisoned immediately. That's great. We can go into Tusk here, and I'm inclined to click Ice Spinner. That'll cover the Chomp staying in and the Goldango. Yeah, your Garchomp's dead, whereas my Dragalge's alive and well, so I'm totally down to take a spin trade. That works for me, and we can go all out here. And let's wish. Okay, Gold's going to come in. That's interesting. I'm okay to flip turn here, and we're going to get tricked a Scarf. That is pretty okay. I don't mind that. I think I like the idea of getting Rillaboom healed up here, and we can go for a nice banded knockoff. Make It Rain will do a lot, but not kill. And we're going to knock a Scizor. That's really good. They lose their Choice Band. U-turn will not kill us. And I kind of like the idea of getting this into glide range, so I'm actually just going to knock again and let ourselves get U-turned, because now we can kind of farm the team with glide, which looks really good. I want to go hard Dragalge on this. That Dark Pulse did a lot more than I thought it would. Is this Specs? Okay, that's Specs. Yeah, that's Specs damage. So we can go immediately into Weavile on this. Okay, all right. Well, they've kind of showed their hand there, haven't they? Let's look at that damage again. That did 57. So this is not modest Specs though. So this is, I think we're in a good enough spot here that we don't need to risk the tie. I think we can just Ice Shard and go down. I'm going to go Rillaboom here, and I believe Terra Grass on Glide has a chance to two-shot. Not really a good chance. So let's Grassy Glide, but let's not go for any recovery yet. And I'm just going to go into Mola here. Now I'm expecting Vaporeon to enter here, so we can just go Tusk. Tusk looks pretty good. How much is Scald? Scald's killing us. Rapid Spin kills, though. Beautiful. So we can go for that, and now Darkrai can't come in and kill us. We can Ice Spinner here. That's pretty much a no-brainer. I believe Headlong Rush is now a kill. Not quite. Let's go for another Ice Spinner and hope they don't kill us. They don't. Beautiful. And we do just click Headlong here. We absolutely don't want to. I can go Mola here, no problem. Okay, good U-turn prediction. You got me there. We can sack our most useless Pokemon, which is Dragalge, without a doubt at this point. And now I have no reason not go Rilla, and we can glide here with Terra Grass to get the two-shot on the gold. But Scizor, bro, dies here. Yeah, and I outspeed you, so that was a weird play, but okay. And we can just glide here, and then we can go into Tusk and Headlong Rush. Okay, that was a pretty quick win. Solid, that went well. Let's go for another one. You don't have to pay a subscription to CalcDex. It's free. What are you talking about? HF. I don't understand these people, man. They just say things that they have no idea about. Okay. I think Corrosion may just be like a total troll. Maybe it was an honest mistake, but a lot of strange activity from their side. This team is just so weak to Will-O-Wisp is what's getting me. But we'll see if we can handle it. we don't really have a great way to break this team. They've got a D-Knight for our Rilla. They've got, I guess, yeah, they've got an Alo for our Crown. This is tough. This is tough. This is not looking so good from the get-go. I do like Alo here because we can just spread some burns. So I want to lead Alo and we can just click Scald a couple times. What elo are we? We are at 1757, so not bad. That is a banded Cinderace, I think. Yep, that's a banded Cinderace. Good to know. Good to know. So we can tect on that and scout it. Okay, we get off a Scald, and it's eject button. All right. Okay, I want to break this Sash, so I'm going to Scald. Well, let's go Crown. Crown is safer here. Okay, so be it. Let's Volt Switch. Surely you never stay in here. That would be just a terrible play. Yeah, and Alo does come in. That Volt Switch did good damage. I'm happy to see that. I think I want to just get up my own rocks. Because with them having Pult, like double Ghost, like we're not, and a Cinderace, we're not winning the Hazard War. Ever. So I think we just want to get rocks up on both sides. That's probably the best case scenario for us. I'm going to go immediate Crown on this because I'm expecting a Mortal Spin. Yep, sure enough. And now I see little reason not to click. What do we want to go for? Probably just Psychic Noise, right? Okay, we Psy-Noise the Glamora. That's good. And they went for another super greedy Mortal Spin. I'm inclined to Volt Switch here because then I can bring in Mola, which just looks really good on the whole team and can scout the banded Cinderace. Always going into a Protect Pokemon is really good in situations like this. Why am I paying 100 USA a month to use it? You've been scammed, my friend. You've been scammed. Okay. That went well. D-Knight, that's a wild D-Knight entrance there with no... Huh. I'm going to just Scald this thing. Well, it knows we have Scald, so let's actually Flip Turn instead. Because it worries me a little that it came in so confidently knowing we have Scald. Let's go Tusk and just Ice Spinner this guy and see what we're dealing with here. Tusk is pretty expendable this game. Yeah, okay. I figured that there was a chance that was going to happen. Obviously, I'm not thrilled. It is what it is. Let's go Weavile and Ice Shard. Yeah, we do need to Terra Ice. We'll Terra Ice Shard here. I'm hoping it's not Extreme Speed. I doubt it is. These things with Leftovers, they generally carry Roost. But, you know, if it is Extreme Speed, then I guess we're cooked. Okay, Mola comes in. Makes sense. We can go back into our own Mola here. I still think we're in a winning position this game, especially if we can get T-Spikes up with Dragalge. That looks really good. Since when did live streams have ads? My live streams have had ads, I think, since the very first one. We're going to now click Scald on this. There we go. That's good news. That's great news. We're going to Flip Turn and just get Weavile nice and healthy here. Very nice to see Dragonite getting burned. We do not get the kill here with Ice Shard, guaranteed. So I'm going to go back into Mola. And let's Flip Turn again. Okay, they're doing the Roost thing. That's kind of irritating. We could go Crown here. Let's go Crown and Volt Switch. We don't die to Earthquake here. It does a lot, but we don't die. And then we can go into Weavile. Okay. Oh, no, we do die. Okay, we get they get the roll. That super sucks, but yeah, that figures. I should have figured that would happen. All right, we're going to probably just lose to this Dragonite then. Yeah, and funny, our own D-Knight would have saved us from this debacle, so... Yeah, there's maybe still a way to win this game, but I really doubt it. I think we're going to get farmed by Dragapult now that we lost Weavile. Yeah, I guess just the lefties combo there was pretty nasty. Preserving D-Knight when there's literally no way Dragonite could come back is a crazy play. But you do you. Yeah, we're going to lose now. Yeah, we can flip turn here, go into Rilla, and hope this thing dies to knockoff, but yeah, probably won't. If it outspeeds us, it's over here. Yeah, super fat, GG. This has been a devastatingly bad stream. We've just been getting just destroyed out here. Yeah, this sucks. All right, what do we do? What do we do? Yeah, Dragalge's been consistently doing pretty much nothing. Which, when I played like 15 games with this team, and it was doing great, which is why I decided to stream it. But now it seems like it's run out of juice. It's done. Is this playing? Theoretically, the music's still playing. I can't hear anything, though. Yeah, I thought Dragalge would be good, but it's just not working at all. Dragalge and Glowking are very different Pokemon. Dragalge used on the physical side, Glowking on the special side, and they do different things. I don't know. Dragalge might be a fraud. Load up Iron Hands. Yeah, I'm tempted to just do something else, but we gotta finish it out. Yeah, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do here, guys. It's just performing so badly. Like I feel like the team, just the fixed version of the team is the best, better than anything we've made today, and yet it's still not great. It's fine. I want to do better than fine. I thought because of how well it performed that we could make something good, but it's not looking so doable. We can maybe go Scizor over Crown, and then Moltres here. This is a possibility. Actually, no, this loses to stall. I hate stall so much in this generation, man. It's just like you get matchup checked on one end by Kurem and Wogerpon when you build balance, and then you have to somehow build a breaking core. It's devastating. It's doable when you're not using a Dragalge, but when you've got a Dragalge, things get rough. Yeah, Toxicroak vid is being worked on. Just did the recording last night for it, so we're getting progress is being made on the Toxicroak video. Let's try this with the Spinef Roar Molt. No, it has nothing fast. I missed that. Yep, nothing fast. That's not going to be good. Conkeldurr does not beat HO. It gets outsped by Kingambit, takes loads from a Sucker Punch, Terra Ghosts and Poisons are everywhere, it gets farmed by D-Knight, it's too slow, it gets destroyed by Raging Bolt. Conkeldurr destroys HO in, like, if you just imagine a Roaring Moon getting Mach Punched, but in practice it doesn't do so well. Guys, you can't... How am I going to make a hazard stack with Dragalge work? We start off the hazard stack with Pokemon that are not spin blocker, because we need an Olo to make Dragalge any kind of worthwhile. So we start a hazard stack team with 2 Pokemon that don't stack hazards, don't take advantage of hazards, and don't absorb knockoff. So I need to fit every component of a hazard, and they don't spin block either. We cannot fit every component of a hazard stack team onto the last 4 slots. It's impossible. It can't be done. We've got to let go of a central tenet of building here. We've got to make like a maybe double priority. If it's slow is fine. Maybe we can make like Scizor D-Knight work or something like that. Let's try that. I think maybe we can do something like this, and that allows us to drop the Weavile for like a Hoopa. Let's give this a try. We're going to count on double priority being a substitute for speed. Which has worked before. So yeah, let's try. I think we've got to think outside the box here. We might go defog on Scizor if that turns out to be something we want, but actually no, let's outspeed the Jolly Gambits since we're counting on this Scizor so darn much. Fastest Pokemon on the team is a Tusk. We'll see how it goes, folks. And I think I want to go Roost here. I think our matchup against Gliscor is good enough. No special wall is pretty not ideal either, but let's just run it and see what happens. I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break. I'll come back. All right, I'm back. HF. Let's do this. Let's do this. Someone says Latios Farms. True. Too weak to dragon without AV crown. There we go. God. Yep. Yeah, we're definitely too weak. But you know what? We're gonna see what happens. We're gonna see what happens. Getting T-Spike up would be a huge win if possible. Let's just lead Mola and Scald. Looks pretty good against everything. Okay, obviously that's not ideal. We likely don't die to a power-up, so I just want to flip turn and get this thing Sash broken for Scizor. Okay, that's fine. Go Scizor here. If this thing Terras, it still dies, so we can knock off here. It doesn't want to stay in. There we go. Good knock on the Lando. We can go Tusk. I think it's going to be a pretty obvious Stealth Rock here. And then we're going to click Headlong Rush on the Hatterene. Actually, we can click Rocks. AV Hoopa's not a breaker. That's why. I'll go for Rocks. Cool. Got it up on the Ogerpon. Yeah, I'm going to go with Dragalge here. Yep, I figured. I kind of actually wish that Power Whip would have hit because we would have taken 0 and maybe gotten a poison. I'm going to click. Actually, no. Let's not click T-Spike here. Let me go for the Scald. Okay, we're going to get knocked. Are you going to get... Okay, we missed both opportunities for status. That blows. Let's go for another one here. Gambit. Dragalge, what are you doing, dude? Dragalge. Okay, let's go Tusk here. But no, that's just gonna get Iron Headed. Oh, Dragalge, you suck for that one, man. You clicked Kowtow, of course. Why'd you click? I don't know why you did, but you did. All right, let's Headlong Rush here. Dragalge, that was awesome, man. I like how you just missed every single one. That was freaking great. All right. Bullet Punch looks really good, so that's good for us here. Landorus, how much is Landorus taking? We're going to be -1. We still 2-shot. We don't need to Terra here. Okay, Gambit goes down. That's good. We can go Dragalge. And let's just flip turn. Okay, now it's Hoopa time. Okay, Hatterene just gets deleted by Hyperspace Fury. That's nice. Good to see. You'll love to see that. Sack Dragalge here for sure. Shoutouts to Dragalge for having like 5 chances to have a 30% status and never getting it. Really unbelievable stuff. Yeah, I'm just going to Bullet Punch here. I'll Terra Steel Bullet Punch here. Okay, we still don't kill though, so we're going to go Hoopa now and Hyperspace Fury. Go Mola. We can sack this. I think it's fine. And I'll just Bullet Punch here. Lando's going to get sacked for sure, which is totally fine here. I think I'm going to go hard Hoop. Actually, well, I think we Bullet Punch is the right play here. Malignant Chain is wild there. Now we go Hoopa. Great. Now we can, yeah, just Hyperspace Fury. I think Dragonite is the play here. I think we DD now. Okay, because now we can just go Hoopa. Okay, yeah, we win now. Pretty sure Scizor kills this thing. Yeah. Okay, we gotta win. We finally did it. IDK in chat says the W in Dragalge stands for winning. You are so right about that one. It really does, doesn't it? Yeah, that Scald, that was some serious nonsense there from Dragalge. Really showing off that it cannot do anything. Yeah, it hasn't gotten a single poison point the entire stream. It's been unbelievably bad at getting anything statused. It's been wild. Dragalge carried for real. I mean, Dragalge didn't do terrible that game, but it would have been if it got a freaking status, it would have been great. Yeah, Dragalge is definitely at like a sub 5% chance for how bad it's been doing with status so far, or like sub 10 probably. We're not doing adaptability. It sucks. Poison point is mathematically way more worth it, even if it doesn't actually end up happening. Yeah, I'm just trying to think if there's any way to like make this good. I think we just keep going. I mean, it did win, so. Yeah, Dragalge. No, dude. Maybe one day I'll be building an Olo team and be like, I know exactly what we need here and add on a Dragalge, but it seems like it's just garbage. I want to get up T-Spike when we can. I really like just scalding a bunch of stuff, so I think we lead Olo here. I'm inclined to protect. I don't think we need to mess around with this. And it's going to be a trick right off the bat. Probably going to be Scarf. I don't mind Scarf Hoopa here. I think that looks good. Okay, that worked out. I feel like I just click Hyperspace Fury here. Yeah, let's just do that. Okay, that Volt Switch damage indicates AV, not Specs. Good to know. Corv comes in. Beautiful. We're going to get a ton of damage on that, and then a Tusk will come in, and we'll do a low... Oh, no, they're just going to say sack Corviknight. Okay, so now if we get up T-Spikes, those look really good. Olo for sure. We're just going to start clicking Scald. Wild play by our opponent. Ice Spinner there was like just insane. We can protect, we know it's choice, so we have no reason not to protect every time. I would love it if we got our Hoopa choice scarf here. That would be beautiful. I'm clicking Scald. Like this is what I'm here to do. We are not getting status conditions at all. That is banded damage, I believe. And it got pretty low rolled last time, but I don't really want to risk that again. We don't actually have a switch in, though. I got bad news. Dragalge's the sack. In case it misses, we'll set up. Are you real? Yes. Let it be known, I think, therefore I am. It missed. We get up a T-Spike. Dragalge is the best Pokemon ever. We all knew it all along. What a hero. Okay, Hoopa. Let's just Hyperspace Fury. It might be a Boots Tusk and come in and just spin immediately. It got poisoned. The Dragalge officially has done something, folks. Never thought I'd see the day, but look at it go. Okay, we can tech here for sure. Okay, good switch by our opponent there. Probably just going to be a dual wing beat, right? I guess we can check and stall out a turn. But yeah, that's not good. Probably our Scizor is the best move. We're faster than most Scizor, so we can probably get a big knockoff here, which looks not half bad. Yeah, that went pretty well. I'm a fan of just going Tusk here and clicking headlong. They didn't bullet punch, which is weird. I think Finchinator disabled status for Pinka. Mola. Hopefully it's not Specs. That did quite a bit. That did quite a bit. I think we let go of the Hoopa and go Dragonite and Terra Normal DD. Sadly, Gardevoir will heal all of this off. Yeah, that's a Scarf set. I think we DD again, and then we just spam Roost. Seems fine. Actually, or do we just Extreme Speed now? I think we just E-Speed now. Okay, good thing we did that, because they Terra Fairy'd for some reason. Kind of a whack play, but that works out really well for us. Oh yeah, do like the stream. Thank you. Helps out. Pretty sure you just died Earthquake. Yeah. Oh, it's Scarf. Oh my god. Okay. Well, that was scary. Good thing it didn't have Focus Blast. Yeah, E-Speed kills here, so that should do it. Good, 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 good. And then this we can just... oh, it's Booster Speed. I think EQ plus Protecting with Olo gets us there. I mean E-Speed, excuse me. E-Speed plus Protecting with Olo I think gets us the win. Yeah, they're going to disconnect here. I'm pretty sure they die here to Extreme Speed, Olo Tect, swap to Tusk, back into Olo Tect. That T-Spike did kind of put in work. We kind of got bailed by that miss because we don't have a flying resist. So that's whoops. That's pretty bad too. No flying resist. That's not good at all. But yeah, I think they're gone. I'm gonna search for another one. Apparently Eviolite Skrelp is bulkier. That's funny. Thank you, the true Scotsman, for explaining to people how Dragalge works. I like Dragalge lead. I'm going to do it. We're facing the Joe Rogan experience, or the Ro Jogan experience. That's fun. We're 3-3 now, by the way. We've tied it up. Arfak Skrelp. Let's see. Oh, DT Skrelp. What am I doing? There we go. Wow, that's not a good looking Pokemon, but I don't believe that Eviolite Skrelp is bulkier. Actually, no, it kind of makes sense. Okay. Opponent, you got to make a move. That's how this works. Oh, I'm facing Blunder. Dang, well, this started off not great then. That's not what you want to see. We could Terra Fairy and immediately Scald. That's not good though. Allo, I think, takes too much. Yeah, this is a really bad beginning. I'm gonna go Allo anyway, but this is not a good start. Okay, yep, makes sense. And now we're gonna go right into Dragonite. I think we immediately Terra Normal E-Speed on the Ice Spinner here. I think this is one of those games where we have to early Terra. Okay. A lot of thinking going on here. They must have a guest on. Blunder's kind of a clicker, isn't he? All right, let's see. Do we get red? Yep, we do get red. Okay, that sucks. It happens. All right, I'm going to go Tusk here, and I think we just... I think we rock. I think we rock. Yeah. Okay, yep, we got that. We got that right at least. We're going to go Dragalge here for sure. That's what it's here to do. Tusk coming in. I'm going to go into... Actually, we don't die here. I'm just going to click Scald. Wait, never mind. That's Kalka's lying. We still are unlikely to die, so I'm just going to click Scald here. This Dragalge is the worst Pokemon ever, dude. That was likely to live. Like, Dragalge should have lived that. I can't stop the timer. They turned it off. They turned it on, rather. Yeah, I could not turn off the timer. I tried. Rip. Couldn't turn it off. For the record, Dragalge should have lived that. Roll. Or not should have, but roll was in my favor. Deserves some respect. Not much, but some. Yeah, we would have lost that game for sure. Yeah, apparently it's Adamant Tusk. Yeah, so we died for sure. Yeah, I lost this one for sure. GG. All right. Well, I really doubt that we were being stream sniped. Okay, Dragalge again. It looks not great here because there's a Wogerpon. I mean, if it can deal with the Wogerpon, that'd be great, but I don't think it will. Okay, let's just lead. Let's just lead with this. Let's click Ice Spinner. Okay, that's not good. That damage is Scarf, and we have no flying resist. Can Alomomola take that? Yes, let's go Mola. I'm going to flip turn. I think we have to risk the Malignant Chain here to get Tusk back. We need it here. Please don't get statused immediately. Thank heavens. That's a good moment. Let's get up rocks right away. I'm going to go Scizor here. Yeah, and let's knock the Pecharunt. Okay, Tusk. Booster speed, interesting. Let's go Dragalge for the poison point. We don't get it, of course, because that's how Dragalge works. That's how he does it. Let's Scald here. We don't get the stat. This Dragalge could not get any worse. Okay. Let me rock up. Probably Pecharunt. Actually, let's rock up. Let's go hard Hoopa, I guess. And I'm going to Zen Headbutt here. No, you probably go H-Rot though, don't you? Let's go Hyperspace. Yeah. Tusk comes in, makes sense. Let's go Dragalge. We don't get the poison point again. Let's go D-Knight on the Headlong and back into Alo for the Ice Spinner. Okay, it's knockoff, so that's not good. D-Knight. We can DD here at least. EQ, for sure. If we don't get Malignant Chained here, we could just win this on the spot. Okay, we might just win this right now. I think Landorus always comes in here. I'm going to make a read. I got it. Feeling pretty good about that one. Actually, wait. No, we don't kill Wellspring. I should not have done that. That was bad. Yeah, that was bad. That was really bad. Now I think we just lose to this Ogerpon, I think. For some reason I was thinking we killed. I don't know why. Couldn't even begin to tell you why I thought that was the case, but whatever. We have this at least, and let's Sledge Bomb and hope it stays in for some reason. It shouldn't. Let's sack Scizor here. Mola doesn't know. We gotta heal something up. I'm gonna go Tusk here. Oh, we don't have Terra anymore. It's fine. It's fine. This team sucks. I can't care about it. GG. All right, let's get these games started. For Dragalge's a failure. We're not gonna try it again. It's bad. It's bad. Yeah. I guess my testing with the other team was maybe a fluke. I was really not. I was super unimpressed with it this time. It was consistently terrible. It did not manage to get a single poison point all stream, despite being hit probably like 10 times. Poison point is 30%. It's 30. It's flame body. Poison point is 30%. So anyway, the people who are on to do the challenge thing, send me a challenge and please get off stream so you don't snipe me. Yeah, it's just send when you're ready. I'll unblock challenges. I think I got 3 people to face. Let's pick some teams. Yeah, we actually do need to ban adaptability in the chat anytime I talk about Dragalge. It's been insane how many people are like, no, we have the solution. It's like, no, you don't. It's going to make it worse. Now, theoretically, actually, in practice, adaptability would have been good this stream because of how it, like, Poison Point actually never activated. But that doesn't mean it was good. That just means we got horrendous luck. Let's go with that one. Thank you, B, for the $5. Appreciate it. Saying Ogerpon W is broken, only checked somewhat by Hydrapple, in my opinion. Yeah, that's pretty fair. It is. Very few things can stop it. Sure, let's go. I don't actually know if this team is any good, this Hydrapple team, but let's run it. Yeah, guys, obviously this didn't go the way I hoped. People that are going to challenge me, please do that. Is this the guy? Please confirm in chat if you are supposed to be battling me. Guy in chat who said Ogerpon's balanced, I bet you've actually never played a balanced team. I bet you see, like, a sticky web is like the most your brain can handle. Okay. We can't end on a loss. We're going to be here for hours if we don't want to end on a loss. Okay. I'm going to assume this is the person I'm supposed to be facing, I guess. Okay, apparently no, it's not. Will someone send me the challenge then? Well, what are we doing? We've been here for like 5 minutes now. Maybe I'm time's just moving quickly, but like, yeah. Can't battle. Okay, no problem. Like, I don't have Discord open, as I never do during these streams because I'm worried it'll somehow dox me, but Cravian, where are you at? Wanawa, send whenever. I don't know who this is. Who is this? Okay, we're waiting for Wanawa to finish a game. I guess. I don't know where Cravian is. Maybe I'm just facing Wanawa today, I guess. I don't know. I don't know who these people are. You are not the people I'm trying to face here. I don't think. If you are, please confirm in chat. Cravian and Wanawa are the two. Yeah, I'm just getting tons of challenges. I don't know. This is kind of irritating, but eventually we'll get a challenge from Wanawa, presumably. Yeah, Noragon though. I'm not. We're not doing just general chat challenges. I'm doing challenges with Cravian and Wanawa. That's it. We're just, yeah. It's just they did some Discord thing with like a Discord ladder, and they got high on the ladder. So I'm now going to face them. No, sorry, we're not facing chat. Let's find out Wanawa. Okay, we got another. Finally, there we go. We're going to reject this. Shared power, crazy stuff there. Let's go with the, let's go with this team. All right, Pecharunt Fat, the classic Wanawa. Pretty bad, actually. We do not like to see Pecharunt with this team at all. All good. Okay. Yeah, actually, Pecharunt kind of defeats our entire team. Probably that's an issue I maybe should have addressed on another time. But, you know, it is what it is, right? Let's just get this over with. Okay, how do we start this game? Wisp looks good against everything. Let's just lead with Wheezing. I'm just going to Wisp. Okay, we Wisp a Glow King. That's fine. Let's go into Lou. And let's rock up. We can go Mola here. It's not going to love taking this, but it will take it. That Axle damage indicates... It only hit 2 times. That's definitely banded. So Olo is actually likely to die here. So we got to sack something. Hand seems not that helpful here. We can go back into Olo. No, because if we get a miss, we can heal up with it. Okay, that went fine. Let's Wish, and then we can heal up the hands. But yeah, we kind of just lose to Pecharunt, so I don't think we have a real way of winning this game. Okay, we get hands in. That's kind of nice at least. I'm gonna just Thunder Punch, just to get some damage off on this thing. Okay, we get a little bit. Doesn't hurt. Pecharunt comes in. We can go Wheezing. Everything's pretty healthy, so I'm inclined to Pain Split on this. I think Wheezing will get health on that too. Or Slow King, excuse me. Yeah, we will get health on that. We can go Ting Lu here. Okay, just straight Chili is fine. We can just go Mola. This wall's Weavile forever unless a Future Sight is up, so we're not really worried about that. Yeah, unfortunate knockoff critical hit there. That's pretty annoying. That kind of sucks. Okay, that went fine. We can go back into Mola here, I guess. Well, let's go Rilla here. Let's knock. I don't think the Ice Spinner's coming off. Okay, we knocked the Mandibuzz. That's kind of cool. We can go Wheezing. It's going to be a long game. Let's go into Mola. Triple Axle, does that have a chance to kill us here from a banded one? Yes, so let's protect here. Now it has a very small chance to kill us, when you factor in accuracy at least. So we're just going to wish here. Yep. We intact here. Weird staying in. We're actually, it's feasible to stall out at this point. Okay, that's happening. Yeah, we don't have actually anything to deal with this Petrant. We're gonna have to let Ting-Lu get poisoned. It's the only way. Yeah, it does immediately get poisoned. Can't really complain. It is what it is. We're gonna just Ruination here. Yeah, I don't think Dragalge that entire stream got a single poison point or a single scald burn, if I recall correctly, which is absolutely nuts when you think about the numbers it was putting out for actually like hitting stuff. I'm gonna click Woodhammer here. Okay, Petrant did come in, fair enough. Let's check if what kind of Petrant this is. That indicates the fact that we did 31 indicates bold max, I believe. I think timid no bulk there would have, yeah, timid no bulk would have taken more. So, okay, now we know the set. That's somewhat helpful information. Ting-Lu comes in, we can click Ruination again. Let's go Hollow, I guess. Let's flip turn here. See what they want to do. We're doing viewer challenges at the end of the stream. There's no Dragalge. Okay, weird move there. Let's Woodhammer again. Actually, no. Let's knock off. Let's just knock off. Okay, we got the Petrant, ladies and gentlemen. We got him. That's a good turn. It's a good turn indeed. I think I actually... Kind of like wheezing here. And then we can pain split. That probably wasn't that good of a play, now that I'm thinking about it, but it's fine. Let's go Mola. We can tech here. Yep, now we can flip turn into Lu, I guess. Looks pretty good. Yeah, there's the chili, which makes a ton of sense. Tusk comes in, we Ruination it. We need damage on that. Yep. Ruination. Okay, we get knocked. Not ideal, but it's fine. Let's go Mola. What do you think about Band Masquerada? It's not a fraud. It's pretty good. Ooh. Let's go into Ting-Lu. Yeah, we're not going to get Ruinationed here. Let's go into Mola. The true Scotsman has finally had it. That's funny. I feel you. How much can Blaziken do to a Petrant? Like 0, right? Yeah. Yeah, because then no, it's the bold one. So yeah, like not much. Okay, that is what it is. Yeah, we can go into this, and I'm gonna defog. We can go hard Lou here, and I'm gonna rock up. Tusk comes in here. I think we have to Ruination again. Weavile. Okay, that's fine. We can go. We're probably going to lose something here. 56%. Let's risk it. Well, we'll protect first, but then we'll risk it because I'm too tired of this, man. I can't take it anymore. Actually, dude, it's triple axle. I mean, it's gonna do what triple axle does. I'm gonna tech tier, actually, then go Iron Hands. I think risking Olo is kind of a bad play. As much I just want this game to end, to be honest, but I'll do my best to play it optimally. Okay, let's go back into Mola. You know the drill. This thing's gonna be out of axles pretty soon. Yeah, there we go. There's the miss. We can flip turn here. Axel, you can't count on Axel hitting. You gotta run Icicle Crash. Isn't Dragalge a lower tier mon? Yeah, that's what I do here. At least that's what I tried to do here. Yes, and now we all know why. That's a funny response to that. I like that. I don't know what. If I'm Winoa here, you just go into Pecha Run. It walls literally my entire team. Okay, we got some complaining, which is probably fair. I haven't really been keeping track of the RNG. But yeah, okay, there's the obvious Petrant. Makes a ton of sense. Kind of figured that would be the play. Maybe I should have wished so we could have gone into something else. But it's fine. I'm going to go Blaziken here. And I'm going to Tact. Hopefully on a Malignant Chain, and then we'll double into Wheezing. Stalling out Malignant Chains is unfortunately where we're at. Calc Dex is an extension, yes. Okay, oh, we stalled. We got one. That's good. I'm going to go into Wheezing now. Got another one. Beautiful. We're going to Pain Split here. Only 4 left. That's a pretty big win. I'm tired of this. I'm going to click Strange Steam here. Okay. Winawa was not ready for my aggression. Let's just go Mola, I guess. And I'll Tech Tier. Yeah, and then we'll flip turn into Tinglu like we've done so many times before. Actually, let's wish here. I don't think it clicks Sludge Bomb this turn. Yep, gotcha. I knew it. Didn't think this was what my Saturday would come to, but, you know, it is what it is. Sometimes that's just the way it goes. Let's go Tinglu here. Yeah, getting Parting Shot on makes a ton of sense. Let's go Rilla here. All right, it's time to Terra Grass Wood. Actually, we don't need to Terra Grass. Petrarunt is done. Yeah, we can just Woodhammer here. Something's dying now. For the first time, something is freaking dying. And it's probably going to be Mandibuzz, which is totally useless to the long-term plan. So... oh, 1-0. Just sack the Mandibuzz, man. We know it's gonna be. We know nobody thinks it's gonna be anything other than the Mandibuzz. Just let the Mandibuzz go, and we can all move on with our day. You can go Slowking first for some more Woodhammer chip if you like. Then you can go Mandibuzz, and we'll do it. We'll get the whole thing wrapped up. Petrarunt. That's an insane play. We're absolutely Terra Grassing here. And wow, that was not the Pokemon to let die. I think that was a huge mistake. Mandibuzz should have been the one to go there. Now you lose. We absolutely go Mola here. We absolutely flip turn here. Pretty sure I just go Blaziken and Flare Blitz. Let me check this Olo flip turn damage. That did 16. That indicates Spidef. Let me just verify that defensive would not take. Yeah, it would have never taken 16. So this is going to be that Spidef or whatever, and then 0. So Blaziken can just come in here and should be able to blitz. Very likely to kill. Although likely isn't quite enough, given I'm in such a dominant spot. Is it? Whatever. Let's. I'm so tired of this game being a thing. Let's just blitz. Let's do it. We get it. Good. GG. Okay, we got the win. Petrarunt was super annoying. Sacking it was I think a big mistake. Where's Cravian? I haven't seen Cravian say anything in chat. Cravian, if you be on here, you got 2 minutes to send a challenge, and then I'm heading off. Okay, Cravian, where you at? Okay, Cravian's gone. In that case, we're done here. Yeah. Okay, I don't think Cravian's here. Okay, so if Cravian's not going to stay, I'm going to give him a little bit more time, and then we're done. Stream is ending after this. Yes. Yeah. I don't know, guys. Hopefully, streams. It's been a rough. It's been a rough week in a lot of ways. Pretty stressed right now, as you could probably tell. Yeah, I know my vibe has probably not been great. I think things will be a little bit more relaxed soon. And yeah, and we have some good videos coming out, and yeah, hopefully we get some good streams going too, some actually Pokemon that aren't terrible. Okay, yeah, we're gonna end it there. Thank you guys for attending.